So you're probably wondering how you can work from home if you're watching this and you're looking for some tips. And I've put together my 5 tips that I've kind of amassed over the last 2 or 3 years since the pandemic started. And I think the pandemic definitely has changed how we do things and what's acceptable and what's practical and what's just to be expected. Before we go any further, please hit the like button and subscribe. It would really help me out if you'd hit that subscribe button. I'm really, like I said, trying to build a community where I can help share my knowledge and learn from you, and hopefully you can learn from me. So if you subscribe and like my content, that'd be great. And always comment down below once you've watched the video for maybe some tips that you think I should add to this video, or even make another one. With that being said, let's get into my 5 tips for having to work at home with a child. So I do want to put a 6th one on, and I'm going to lead with that, and that is do not work at home with a child. It is really hard, and it's impossible to get much work done, especially if you're in a high output type environment. I just do not recommend it, and it's not safe for your kid, and it's not a good scenario. I can't recommend it for my kids and I. And you might be able to get away with having your kids sit there while you're working, and it's not good for them. I don't recommend it. But anyway, that's my 6th tip. But tip number 1, set a schedule. Not just for yourself, but also for your child. Get up, get your workout in if you're doing that, or during lunch. Feed times, snack times, play times, exact activities you're gonna do through the day. If you don't want to be that's fine. That's precise. Go ahead and pick a general schedule. But setting a schedule is going to help you also care for your child. And whether you're with that child for long term while you're trying to balance everything out, or you're just sick for one day or an extended period of time with your child, setting a schedule is going to help you remember what you need to do for your kid, keep your sanity, but then also help you stay focused on what you're working on. And again, I don't recommend it, but you might be in a situation where you had to do it. So setting a schedule is really helpful. Tip number 2, setting goals for the day, both for yourself and your child or children, depending on your scenario that you're in. Setting clear goals of what you need to accomplish, and then taking that schedule and plugging them in, and then setting goals for what you want to accomplish with your child, and maybe some things for them to work on, learn and grow from that day, whether it's to work on words for an hour, whether it's to take a walk, work out at lunchtime, have more vegetables, drink more water, get 5 things done for work, or even 1 thing. Setting that schedule and then having goals you plug in, having 1 to 3 goals that you can accomplish each day is going to help move your day through, help you focus on what you have to do, and keep you and your kids out of trouble. It also just helps to free your mind, because you're gonna be balancing so much when you're sitting there working and trying to watch your kid at the same time. Tip number 3, have a safe space for your child. You might have a few moments where you're not paying attention to your kid, and having a space that's free of electrical cords, fenced in where they can't fall, climb up, hurt themselves, choke on something, but still be entertained is crucial. And I think it's impossible to find, but I keep trying it. I've tried it a few times. But having that safe space is super critical to you getting work done and your child being entertained and content throughout the day, and also safe. I'm not saying let them run around the living room or walk away for long periods of time. That's very dangerous for you and your kid. But having a safe space for them to explore and be kids is also important. It also gives you some sanity and helps free up some focus so that you can get some work done as well. Tip number 4, having playtime scheduled in inside and outside helps your child to get their parental attention that they need, their adult attention, but then also burns some energy, gives you a mental break. It's a lot having to work, balance a schedule, get things accomplished, and attend to your child throughout the day. But then having some free time, some creativity time, half an hour each day, getting that scheduled in, making it a goal, is going to keep you focused and happy, and everyone's going to be much, much, much happier and in a better mood. So whether that's playing inside or outside, walking, whatever, but having some time dedicated directly to your child is super important and also helps you with your mental health. Tip number 5, and this comes with the fact that you're probably watching your child, and if you're on a long-term scenario where you're trying to figure out what to do because you could or could not get into daycare or you can't afford it, is reach out to people and use a babysitter. Try and find a babysitter for a few hours a day, multiple times a week. It may be cheaper than sending your child to daycare, and it may be a way for you to keep your job. Most jobs do not let you work at home with a child, and I realize it comes up from time to time, and there are scenarios, especially post-COVID, where you may have to watch your child long term. Using in-home babysitters while you're also working from home has been something that I've used for my children, and it's really helpful. Or maybe 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the day, a few times a week, is crucial to you keeping your job, accomplishing what you need to professionally, giving you some sanity back, and helping your children to do what they need to do. And again, I don't recommend you try and work from home instead of sending your kid to daycare. And we all know that staying at home and getting out of the workforce could also be detrimental to your career. And unfortunately, with millennials and Gen Zers having kids now, I think it's even more so that people frown upon breaks in your employment, especially when you may go home and take care of a child. I just don't think that it's as supported as it has been in years past. So we have to come up with creative ways, especially if we have a child that we can't afford to send to the daycare in our area or we're uncomfortable with it. So having a babysitter is truly an option that I feel would be really helpful for your sanity and your child's well-being, and then also hopefully help you keep your job. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Those are my 5 tips. Again, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you don't have to find yourself in this situation. I would hope that in the United States that we might find a way one day to help subsidize daycare, because I feel like having children well educated and happy is really important to our national well-being, and then having parents that can produce, contribute, pay taxes is also super important. And people should not have to decide about, should I work or should I try and stay home and have kids? They shouldn't have to decide between the two. They should be able to have this affordable daycare accessible to you. Obviously, everyone wants the best for their kids, and I just hope that not only things like mental health, but also the welfare of our children and our access to childcare would be something that we put at the forefront of what we're doing. But I hope this video helps you get some tips. I'd love to hear in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And like always, it really helps if you subscribe. So if you could hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Like and comment as always. And I really appreciate your time and attention, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, until we meet again.